Hello, everyone. My name is Randall, and I'm the head of the marketing program at CMMU. And let me welcome you today to join our online event. This is what we call a kind of mini open house. And I am not meant to be here as a salesperson, but just as a facilitator. So I'll tell you some things about the college, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So again, this is CMMU. CMMU has been open for almost 30 years, and we've been running our master's programs and PhD programs successfully, and have made quite a reputation for ourselves. But basically, CMMU has a great brand reputation. You're going to learn how to give good presentations and how to, be more effective in your work. You're going to get international exposure whether you go abroad or not. You're going to have exchange students from all around the world, maybe 100 exchange students in some terms. And then basically unique learning experience, because we've developed this whole program to be based on problem-based learning. And problem-based learning means learning by doing. So if you can imagine, Mahidol has the reputation for teaching medical doctors. And, medical doctor can't just learn something from a textbook. They're going to have to go and practice with real life patients. And so that's kind of the starting point of where problem-based learning came from. But now we apply it here, and we're using cases, we're using, live projects, we're using projects in the class, or you have to go outside of class and collect data. But either way, it leads to hands-on learning, which, to be honest, is a lot more fun than sitting and listening to a lecture. It keeps you engaged, it keeps you awake, and we're quite proud to say that we're part of AACSB, we're also part of AMBA, we're also part of BGA, and we're also part of PRME, and that's quite a bit, actually, for being such a small university, a small college. We have made a name for ourselves wherein our faculty publishes just as much as in US, in Singapore, which is quite impressive, It might not mean that much to the students, but it means a lot to the Mahidol University and to the accreditation people. So this is sort of like ISO, if you've heard of ISO for factories. So we have ISO for a university, it's called AACSB. And basically you have to show that you have your learning objectives and teaching objectives, and you have your assessments, and you close the loop, and you learn and improve from everything that you do. It took us 10 years to get AACSB, so we are quite proud to have that. Within our corporate networks, we have loads and loads and loads of access to corporations, and sometimes we bring them in as speakers, and sometimes we take our students to visit them as company visits. But also your classmates may work for some of these companies as well. And so you get a lot of diversification within your classmates, which is really great. You meet people from different specializations. Some people study marketing, some people study finance, some people study health and wellness. They might even be medical doctors, which is very cool. When you study for your first year, you're going to have classmates from all different specializations. And as you go into your second year, it'll become more focused. So here at CMMU, we have 4 different options if you're interested in double degrees. This might not be the best day to talk about it, but just to raise awareness, we have a partner in Sydney, Australia called Macquarie. They are one of the top schools. It is a beautiful campus, and basically every program except health and wellness has the option to go to Macquarie if you want to. So basically you would study for 3 terms at CMMU and then go study for 2 terms in Macquarie. For Toulouse, it's the same, except the difference for Toulouse is that you do not have to pay any kind of admin fees. Your tuition is already covered by your degree at CMMU, and so you basically go to Toulouse and just pay your cost of living. So that's a pretty cool option. Everything is taught in English, but it's in Toulouse, France, southern France. UTS, Sydney, this is only for the marketing program, and basically you study your whole degree with CMMU, and then you go to UTS for one more semester. So just 4 more classes, and you get a whole second degree, instead of taking actually 12 more classes. So that's quite a good bargain if you're interested in that. And now our newest program is for Massey University for the corporate finance. If you're interested, we have this double degree program. I would say that a lot of our students are interested in the double degrees, but when push comes to shove, a lot of them are working, and so they find it difficult to take time off. Maybe check the fine details, because like for UTS, you can still go study up to 5 years after you graduate. So again, this is probably too much information for today. You don't have to make this decision until about 1 year into your studies, but just be aware that we have these. We also have about 40 partner universities, which is incredible, incredible. So we have 40 different partner universities where you can study abroad. So if you would like to go study abroad, you can go to the US, you can go to Europe, you can go to Asia, you can go to Australia, New Zealand. It's really an amazing opportunity. And the exchange programs depend. They can be as short as 1 week, or they can be as long as 1 whole term, maybe 4 months. So you just have to look and see, where are you interested in studying, and what courses are they offering, and so what courses could you study and then take back. Normally you would do this in your 4th or 5th term after you finished your core courses. Your core courses will cover the 7 specialization courses, and then basically you have a comprehensive exam. And after that, you're free to do anything you want. Take electives, go study abroad, take study trips, whatever you like. We have lots and lots of opportunities available for you. So again, we have probably 100 exchange students per year who come in from top universities from Europe. We have study abroad. We have study trips. Study trips may be part of a course, or it may just be voluntary, optional. Some students went to Japan, they went to Taiwan, they went to Abu Dhabi, they went to Dubai. And you'll visit companies, and you'll visit maybe some universities. Again, we use problem-based learning, and this is our main focus, and this is what we try to use to differentiate from other universities, in that a lot of universities use lecture-based, or they use case-based. And that's okay, but it's a little bit boring, and arguably don't learn as much as if you learn by doing. So, when you come into the classroom, you're seated in groups, you're not seated in rows, and you work together on projects, and your teacher is there to facilitate, to help answer questions, and it's very, very interactive, which is really how a master's program should be, in my opinion. You have a lot of resources because of Mahidol University, so you have access to a lot of software like MS Office 365 or MS Office, Adobe Creative Cloud, which has a lot of software within it, SPSS. I won't go through all this. Euromonitor is a very, very expensive one that gives you access to research reports across different countries. So if you were to say, hey, I'm interested in launching inhalers in Thailand, Yadom, what's the market size? What's the market value? What's the competition like? You could look that up on Euromonitor, and you could find these reports. And these reports may cost as much as 800 euros, but you can get them for free because you have access through the university, which is fantastic. Really, really good for your projects or for your own family business ideas. So again, life at CMMU is more than just sitting in classrooms. We have a lot of facilities. We have shared working facilities. We have a canteen. We have areas where the students can get together. They can reserve rooms and work together on their projects. We call these syndicate rooms. You can do this online. We have guest speakers who come pretty much every month, and it's optional if you want to come and listen. It might be about cryptocurrency, it might be about branding, it might be about CEO of Unilever or P&G or Mercedes-Benz, bringing us their wisdom. Coca-Cola came and talked about cross-cultural management. Really good, really good. If you have time and if you're interested, you can join these programs on the weekends. Every term we have a networking party, so we try to help you meet other classmates from all different specializations, not just your own. So of course, if you're in marketing, you'll meet marketing students. If you're in finance, you'll meet finance students. But the networking parties are designed to bring everyone together. And we have some activities. Sometimes we have some theme. So maybe it's a pajama party or it's a costume party. It just depends. Last time we did the Chinese New Year recently. And during the Olympics, we had kind of a sports theme. So it's fun. And it's just to help you get to know other people. And we get together and talk about our options every term. Again, it's too much information to take in one day. But basically, we have 5 specializations that you can choose from. So we have marketing and management, which again is a master's degree in management, but you're getting a specialization in marketing. And so you're learning about market research, consumer behavior, advertising, digital marketing, international marketing, retail marketing. Up to you. Depends on what you're interested. But if you're somebody who enjoys understanding psychology and consumer behavior, what should I make and why should I make it? What do people want? What kind of restaurant should I open? What kind of product should I sell? This would all be part of marketing management. Corporate finance is much more focused on the corporation and finance. And they say you really probably should be fairly good at math, but you don't have to be an expert. You will learn what you need to learn as you go. And some of the top students in corporate finance were actually not from a finance background at all. One of the top students was actually from nursing. So, you can never know who's going to enjoy what. But it is somewhat self-selection bias. So if you think that you like this topic, then, sign up for it. If you change your mind later on, you can still change. So it's not locked in stone, Entrepreneurship, if you're thinking about family business, or you're thinking about opening your own business, or you're thinking about franchising, they can cater to all of these desires in the entrepreneurship program. Ajahn Simon heads this program and the finance program, if you want to track him down later on. Healthcare and wellness, we have Ajahn Trian who looks after this. And basically, it's a combination of health and wellness and also hospital management. So if you're a medical doctor and you want management skills, or you're thinking about, how would I manage a hospital? Definitely something to consider. But also, if you're just somebody who's in health and wellness, this is also an interesting program for you. Very interactive, get to visit a lot of companies and meet a lot of speakers. And then general management is sort of our approach to an MBA. So we say, if you're not so sure what you want to focus on, maybe you want to step back and take a greater big picture look. And so that's what general management does. And so we teach things like soft skills and people skills and leadership skills. So basically, it's very focused on management. And again, this has to Toulouse double degree program. So in terms of admission, we have an online application that you can fill out now. We need your ID card, we need your resume or CV, and your statement of purpose. Why would you like to study here? And then please upload a picture. And then the next step is that we'll invite you to be interviewed. Notice that we don't need your English skills yet. So, be prepared to submit them, but we can look at them later on. So here are the key figures that we're looking at. And if you need any more information about this, you can talk to our educators or our marketing people. And we do have a special discount if you apply. Something to think about. So I hope that you'll consider CMMU, and if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them for you. Any questions from the audience? What kind of questions? Basically, two things. We want to get a sense of your English skills, and we want to get a sense of your motivation. So why do you want to study? What is your work if you're working? Do you have time to balance your work and your study? These are the kind of basic questions that we would have during the interview. If you have questions about the different programs, I can try to help explain what's the difference. I think I already answered this question. Why choose CMMU? Because we have flexible problem-based learning, and it's a very, very good program. Students are highly, highly motivated to come and study. They're very eager to get ahead in their careers. They're really hungry to come and learn. So it's really a nice culture of students who are hungry to learn, and really, really good teachers who are practitioners who come and share their knowledge in the class, and then it's very interactive, not lecture-based. Advantages, same thing. You get flexibility. So maybe let's say this week I'm teaching marketing on Sunday and on Wednesday. You can come on either day. You can pick. All of the programs are 5 terms, so about 19 months. You take your core courses for the first 3 terms, and then you focus on your specialization courses and your electives after that. I certainly don't see how you would lose anything, except maybe you practice English more than you need to use in your daily life. I don't know. It's a very strong program, very, very strong program compared to anybody else in Thailand. Is the world really as small as Thailand? Don't you think you're going to have to interact with people outside of Thailand? I think, the world is very international these days, and I think you're kind of limiting yourself if you think in that mindset, but don't know, just me. Pre-courses are courses you take before you begin the actual term, and so we have 1 pre-course for finance and 1 pre-course for English. Same as the question earlier, healthcare and wellness would run 5 terms. So about 18 to 19 months. Again, you take your 3 core courses, and then you start to focus on your specialization and your electives after that. I would say if your English score is 440 up, I would definitely give it a chance. We will interview you and see how well your English comes across. The only issue is if you are below 520, you will still have to take an exam before you can graduate. And so this is a kind of limitation. You can join the program, but you cannot graduate from the program until you get a 520 on your score. That's a good question. Which should I choose? We talk about this later on because it's not the right time right now. But personally, I would highly recommend that you take the CP thematic paper because it's focused on hands-on learning and it's very structured. So basically, you start the class, you finish on time, and everything goes smoothly towards your graduation. If you choose to take consulting internship, independent study, or thesis, it's pretty much out of our hands, and it depends on how well you can swim on your own with your supervisor. And so you might actually end up finishing a year later or 2 years later, you never know. So personally, I don't really recommend the research-based themes. I recommend the hands-on themes. I think it's much better suited for the master's program. The master's is all about learning by doing. And CMMU, that's what we do. We focus on learning by doing. Every classroom has whiteboards, they have the group seating, they're always prepared for working together on course projects. The class is designed to be on-site, the course. Up until now, Thai law has said that you have to study on-site. Unless you're diagnosed with COVID, then you can study online. But they are talking about changing this in the near future, but I'm not sure when that will be. But in the future, maybe classes can be 50-50. Yes, there is a lot of group work. Yeah. After term 3, you can consider the exchange program to go in term 4 or term 5 or both. Yes, we do have short-term exchange programs. As I mentioned, sometimes we have ones that are as short as 1 week. So they could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. But in general, most of the time they would run 1 term. Normally you take 3 courses per trimester. So we're on a trimester here. We have 3 trimesters per year. And that is to help people finish as soon as possible because we figure business people want to get the degree quickly. They probably don't want to have a long summer vacation. Between the 2 programs, the Thai program is a little bit bigger. The international program, I would say marketing is the biggest program, followed by GM and entrepreneurship. If you have a good GPA and you want to take 4 courses, you can, if you're in a hurry. But you have to have a good GPA, like 3.5. If for some reason people's GPA drops below 3, then they can only take 2 courses per term because they'll be on probation. Keep in mind that the international program has the exchange program and the Thai program does not. You wouldn't really interact with the Thai program except when we have trips, like leadership or study trips, if they combine the programs. Otherwise, if you want to attend their events, you can. So they would, post something and say, we're going to have a guest speaker, we're going to have a group presentation on such and such day. You're welcome to sign up for those. That's okay. Cost per semester, I'd have to ask the staff to help you. It's $440,000 for the entire 5 terms. So basically you have to kind of divide it. Normally 3 classes per week for any program. Okay, well, thanks for joining us today. If you have more questions, please feel free to follow up and contact us at either admissions or our educators, and we'll try to answer your questions as quickly as we can. And hope to see you soon. Oh, last question. They're mixed. They're on both weekends and weekdays for all programs. Okay, thanks for joining us. Hope to see you soon.